My name is Natanja Craig. I am currently the manager of grassroots programs at the Boston Foundation, which is the oldest community foundation. We'll be celebrating our 100th year. And I'm responsible for giving away about $750,000 a year to smaller organizations in the Boston area.
What role does determination and dedication play in your success?
I think oftentimes as you grow in your professional career, I think people who are normally held back are held back because they see themselves as the title that they are and not necessarily the passion that they have. And so, for instance, I started at the Boston Foundation as an executive assistant, which basically meant that for the vice president of program, I was responsible for his calendar and getting his calls and really doing administrative things. And as I became more comfortable with that role, my role grew. So I didn't get caught up on how I got my foot in the door, but I knew that I wanted to do more in philanthropy. And then 2 years into my role, got a promotion, and then 1 year after that, got another promotion. So I think dedication really comes from what drives you and why you're at an organization, and not getting caught up on the title is really key. Quite honestly, I do this work because philanthropy doesn't normally have people in their organizations that come from my background. So I like to think of myself as someone who really represents the community and has been through many things and is still in contact with people who are going through struggles, and I like to be the voice for that.
What are some of the obstacles you face while being part of the Mothers for Justice and Equality? And can you tell us about that program as well?
So Mothers for Justice and Equality is a movement that really is about desensitizing communities around the issue of violence. And so what has been most challenging about that is that it's new. So there's a lot of growing pains along the way. And oftentimes what we thought it was going to be, the seed that we placed at one time, looks a little different now. And not in a bad way, but I think that sometimes in your own vision, seeing an organization and then what it really shapes out to be could be a little bit different. And so that probably has been the most challenging for me.
What does teamwork mean to you, and how do you apply that?
I just don't think anyone can get anything done by themselves. So I think teamwork to me is key. There's not one project that I've worked on ever that I haven't asked someone about. Even if it was my full responsibility, I know that the input of a team is really important. And so I think, and it's also important in just bridging relationships and knowing who's good at what. Right?
So what is your definition of an agent of change, and how would you motivate young people like us to be an agent of change?
I think an agent of change is someone who is a disruptive leader. So someone who sees that something isn't right and doesn't always think that what's normal is right, and disrupts that, talks about it, speaks to their peers, starts a movement, starts an organization, joins an organization. I think that's what a leader would do. And so that would be kind of what I would tell you guys to be disruptive, because everything that I'm doing really is for your generation, and then but what you're doing is for a younger generation. And so how are we going to leave this world a better place?